All right, welcome to today's bite-sized webinar. This is Meg Greening, and I'm going to be talking about teaching multiple perspectives and source analysis. Both looking at primary sources and analyzing sources and multiple perspectives are core components of inquiry-based learning. So it's important that we are able to help our students do this in an effective and efficient manner. So if we look at a couple examples here to kind of highlight why it's so important is we have this picture here of an elephant and then multiple people looking at it from a different perspective, a different area. And because of the perspective that they're looking at, they're identifying different aspects. So like one is saying that it is a snake, another a tree or a rope, just on base where they're at. And when we're teaching government, we're teaching any social studies class, it's important to know that you're only looking at a piece of the picture, especially when you're looking at a primary source. And you have to be able to step back and identify what piece of that picture you are looking at and what impact that's going to have on how you draw conclusions from that source. Another example is just the simple, is this a 9 or a 6? Depending on which direction you're standing, you could identify it as either one. So I pulled this from the National Archives. It's a 4-step process that helps students understand and get at the perspective in primary source analysis. So I really like the quote, "Every person has a perspective, background, beliefs, and experiences that shape their point of view. Anytime a person creates something, they bring their own perspective into their work. This tool will help you identify perspective. Answer the following questions as the best you can based on the primary source." So they go through these 4 steps where they meet the primary source, looking at, what is it? What do you notice first? You observe the parts. Who created it? Was it an organization? When was it made? Is there anything specifically offered about what's made? Do you know the intended audience? So if you're talking about the Declaration of Independence, who was it intended to be read by, and why is that important? And then you try to make sense of it. And this is where a lot of that perspective comes in. What is the context? How do we know the creator's perspective? So what reveals what they're getting back, and how does that impact the evidence that you take from it? So we often just give students just a source and say, okay, answer a question based on this, and we don't ever look at the point of view. And perspective is probably one of the most important things that kids and adults need to take into account whenever they're looking at any sort of source or, current or past. All right, and that's what I've got for you today. Thank you, and have a great day.